is washing this out. We don't have to turn the lights on, and we don't have to use the pressure washer at this point just yet. So to get the heavier ink that's on there still, and to clean my squeegee and like my spatula, we'll just use this drop down hose. So usually I just put my squeegee next to my screen like that, so I can kind of spray both. So we'll spray the squeegee down first. Okay, so get as much ink off as you can, just doing that. So once you've got the majority of the ink washed out, you can go ahead and remove your tape. And then we'll flip it over and we'll rinse off the outside. So again, remove the tape. So we'll take the mat board pieces off, and we'll take the tape off of the front as well. Okay, so if you needed to reuse the screen, so let's say you weren't able to do your entire run in one session, you could clean it out without completely removing the image, and then you come back, you have to reapply the tape and do all that again, but then you still have the screen. So yeah, so if you're going to have to come back and use it again, rather than cleaning it all the way, we'll just do the first step. So we have different cleaners up here. So the one we're going to be using first is one that's marked number 1. It's the Supreme Wash. So all these chemicals are citrus based, so they're more eco-friendly, also just a lot less harsh and hazardous. So what we're going to do is just put a few sprays, just like 4 or 5 in the front, 4 and 5 in the back. And we're going to take a clean sponge and very lightly scrub both the front and the inside of the screen. So just make sure you're not applying too much pressure when you do this, so that you don't accidentally pop the screen. So just do this lightly on both sides. Okay, so this is the ink cleaner, so this is going to help to just clean the screen and get any ink out of it. So now we can go ahead and pressure wash it. So when you do that, just make sure that you're not having the wand too close to the screen, because you still could potentially blow it out. So I'm just going to keep a pretty good distance and just clean this out. So I'll do the front side first. So if, again, you're going to be coming back and using this to print some more, then all you need to do is set this aside, let it dry fully, and then you would have to retape it. So if you're done with that one, it's as far as it needs to go. To clean this further, we can do a little spray of ink cleaner directly on the squeegee, and just use a sponge again to scrub it. So if you are done with the screen and you don't need to be able to print it anymore, so still follow the procedure as from the first one. So the first step is going to be to apply the number 1 Supreme Wash. Get a clean sponge, just lightly scrub the inside and outside of the screen. All right. So from that step, the next step is going to be to remove our emulsion. So we'll go to number 2, which is the emulsion stripper. And so we're going to do about 4 to 6 sprays of that on both sides. And again, lightly scrub it on both sides with a sponge. So here's where we have this system of different sponges. Ideally, the way it should work is that we have our number 1 sponges, we have our number 2 sponges, number 3, so on and so forth. And the reason for that is we don't want to, let's say for example, you still plan on printing, you grab a sponge, and it still has some residue from the emulsion remover. If you try to clean it with that, you could accidentally remove your entire image, right? In which case you have to rebrand your screen. So in an effort to minimize those kind of issues, we have, again, ideally, different sponges, right? So lightly scrub it again, as we did before. On both sides. I'm gonna have to, I guess, dump that out and put some new stuff in there, but so that's how it should work. So when you spray it on, again, you should see a noticeable difference where the emulsion starts kind of scaling off, and then as you scrub, it should start coming off. So the fact that it wasn't doing that, obviously there's something going on with it. So it seems kind of counterintuitive, but with the emulsion stripper, as soon as you spray and scrub it, you need to immediately wash it off. If you leave it for too long, it actually rehardens the emulsion. And when that happens, it's really difficult to get off. So as soon as you spray it, scrub both sides, and then immediately go to the pressure washer. So as you can see, we've got a little bit of some staining going on, which can happen from your ink. Also, you can get a little bit of a haze or staining from your emulsion. So to get rid of that, the third step is going to be to use the haze remover. This stuff we actually do want to leave sitting on there, so we'll apply it with a sponge, same way, just kind of lightly scrubbing both sides, and then that needs to sit for about 30 minutes, and then after 30 minutes we'll wash it out. And whenever you wash out the Ghostbuster, you actually want to wash it from the well side first. So after 30 minutes, bring it back over here, have it facing this same way, the well side out. Start at the bottom, kind of go from the bottom up, flip it around, do the same thing on the front. So we'll just scrub some of this in, let it sit. Again, this is sit for 30 minutes. Okay, just let that sit for 30 minutes, and then we'll wash it out.